Hey all, this is part 3 of Formicid Earth Elementalist, here with Ultraviolent 4. We are making our way down through the dungeon, we're up to D8, and we are making some good ground in terms of our rue piety. We jumped up to 3 pips of piety by sacrificing a hand, and it actually turns out that I wish I could take that decision back. So we found out at the end of the last episode that we in fact cannot use shields as a Formicid. So the way that I thought that it worked is that because Formicids are kind of coded, or at least as I understand it, are coded to have 3 hands, I thought we'd still be able to use a shield and a one-handed weapon, but just not a shield and 2-handed weapons. But this is kind of weird, but you can't use a shield at all, but you can still use 2-handed weapons. So yeah, that is definitely not how I thought that was going to go. It's kind of funny though, because in the first episode I said that it was a no-brainer to use a shield on a Formicid, and then the devs got me real good by debating me into sacrificing our shield ability. You win this round, devs. You win this round. So that's very sad. We're a Formicid without a shield. I don't think I've ever done that before, because why would you? But we do have 3 pips of rue piety by D8, so that's nice, I guess. Alright. We saw a couple of different uniques on this floor. Pikel's running around somewhere. He might be the only one, actually. I'm thinking back to... I don't remember. There were a couple earlier. Alright, so I guess let's get on with it. We're training our transmutations in Earth Magic. Actually, okay, we've got Earth Magic set to stop at 10. We might want to keep going. No, not really. Petrify is at 4%. That might be good enough. So we're training a few different spell schools. We're also training stealth and short blades. Not only does that make us stealthier for sneaking up on things, but it improves our stab damage. And we're doing spellcasting. Gives us more mana, really. We could learn some of these other hexes. We don't really need them, I suppose. Maybe we do. Dazzling Spray wouldn't be a horrible spell. It's effectively a hex that ignores MR. So the way that it works whether or not it blinds something is by its hit dice. So that might be something that we'll explore in not too distant future. Things that have really high magic resistance, like Death Yaks, can be good against them. Alright, and I gotta remember, we have stones again. 41 of them, so we can use Sandblast. We'll take this stuff up. I'm so sad that we can't use a shield, so we may as well drop this buckler. I guess that means that now that we definitely can't use a shield, but still 2-handed weapons, maybe this +8 Arbalist of... Oh, I didn't see the name. Of Optimality. The game's dawning me. I said last episode it probably would be optimal to use the crossbow, but I still don't really want to. We should pick up bolts though. There have been none in our game, but I'm going to turn them on auto pickup. We should have them, even if we don't train Arbalists. Just being able to shoot +8 Arbalists of Elec is going to be really insane. Yeah, it's so weird. You can use 2-handed weapons with your 2 hands, but not a shield with 1 hand and a 1-handed weapon with the other. My immersion. The slaves. 62% chance to get them, or we could just ignore them. You don't get any experience for killing slaves, so you don't need to do it. Let me work it up. Quick, dig away! Alright, so we got a bunch of potions here. A lot of these are really good, actually. Invis, resistance, are amazing. And then brilliance is not so important now because we don't have any spells that we'd really want a brilliance. Maybe if we got some really... No, that's not true. If we found some really dangerous unique, the brilliance might give us additional spell power on Petrify so that we could hex it. But I'm thinking more... for invis and resistance, they could be really useful in dangerous situations. Particularly, we don't have any more league, so if we got stuck fighting something like a pack of killer bees and we didn't have any R poison, I mean, we have 4 curing, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't matter that much. But I think I want to get invis for us, and then do we go... Oh, we can't afford resistance, so I guess that makes that one up. We just get the 2 heal wounds, do we? Yeah. More heal wounds is always good. We can only get 1. Okay, we'll get 1 then. And then we'll mark a lot of these brilliance, heal wounds, might, mutation we might need later, cancellation, resistance, curing magic. That's a pretty amazing shop. It's a quite expensive shop, but it's a good one. I gotta remember, I keep forgetting to go adjacent to the centaurs while we're trying to hex them. Hey, some bolts. And right, wouldn't you know, right as I caught it, here are our killer bees. We have a really good hex chance on them though. So that makes it a lot easier. Okay. Okay. Well, seems to be okay because we can hex them. And what we can also do here, this is kind of sneaky, but this front killer bee is holding all the others back, and we have a smite targeted spell with LRD. So we can hit the wall back here, we can hit all these bees who are behind. No, we can't because we failed it with 6% chance to fail, feels bad. Okay, well, that worked. And we don't have any more magic, so that was kind of bad. It's alright, we can fight this one killer bee. If it's just one, we have a dagger of venom, and they're susceptible to poison. So yeah, if we can just land 1 hit on the bee, it's probably gonna die. Good. And then I guess we'll petrify this guy. Good. You can get stone arrowed, not really. I'm not afraid that a phantom's gonna kill us. Got him, okay. And if he really is somehow, we still have draw out power. Hey, Boots. I'm so sad about the shield. So sad. Oh yeah, and we really can't wear 2 rings. Hey, alright, well, speaking of rings, and not having poison resistance, it turns out that we actually do have it. Okay. Man, I'm so sad. So sad about this. Do we want to amnesia? Sandblast? Maybe in the future, I guess not yet. More throwing nets are always good. Pikel, we've got a 63% chance to get him. Yeah. And once we get him, it'll free all the slaves. Good. Stealth to 8, transmutations to 7. Our spell power for Petrify is increasing. Oh yeah, I'm going to turn magical staves on in our auto pickup. One day I'll remember to put this in my options file because I want to pick up staves on everything, but not this day. Do we want to enchant weapon a dagger of venom? I think we don't really need to. We haven't really been brawling too much just with the dagger, so I'll hold it for now. Scroll brown weapon. Okay, that's why we carried this other plain dagger around, because we can roll to try to get a lek on it, but we're not risking losing our dagger of venom to do it. Called it. Called it. Okay, well that's our brawling dagger now. I don't know, we got 2. We got a dagger of venom that we can kite things with, and now we've got a dagger of elect that we can just stand toe to toe melee with things and get them. Ice Beast is fine. Potions of League, that's another item that I really need to put in my auto pickup, because you can see there we're not going to pick it up, but we really should. Why is this bullfrog stronger than us? It's alright, we'll go elect dagger. And again, if we're really going to die, we've got draw out power. We sense monsters coming in from behind us, so I'm going to run. I'm thinking, I want to dig up, but we don't know what's here. It's kind of dangerous. I'm better digging. Oh, I keep forgetting the double mandibles. Okay, it's alright. We're just sensing slaves. Let's get the lig. We want that. Even though we have the R poison for bees now, we still want to have the lig. I don't know. We killed Mancure too, so whatever. I want the lig. Just take my word for it. Rue's offering us a new sacrifice. This time we can read what the sacrifices actually do before picking them. Our first one we've got is sacrifice durability. What does that mean? Well, first of all, do exclamation mark or question mark. You could do either, and we'll look at it. It would prevent us from having any ranks in the armor skill. And would not allow us to train dodging. So, do we want a character that has no shield and no dodging? I'm going to say on the face of it, no. That doesn't sound very good. Sacrifice an eye. Okay. Same reasons as last time. This isn't a huge deal. It's probably more of a deal now that we can't use a shield. Maybe it's not. And that is that if things are hexed, we don't care because our attacks can't miss. And if we're using AoE spells like LRD, we don't care about missing either. And finally, sacrifice drink, which sacrifices the ability to drink potions when threatened. I don't love this one, but it's probably not as bad on a Formicid as it is normally. So you lose your ability. So basically the game decides when you're nearly dying and also when there's high tension due to lots of scary monsters around, and it prevents you from drinking during that time. So it basically means in a bad situation, you can't heal wounds, you can't invis might agility. Normally also you couldn't haste or berserk, but as a Formicid we don't care about those. And this would take us, it's a major sacrifice, it would take us up to 4 pips of piety. Okay, well I really don't like durability, although maybe I don't mind it if we're gonna stick in light armor. Really? Are we gonna have no armor and no shield? Formicids are so bad with dodging too. It just sounds so bad. No armor and no shield. Low AC and rely entirely on evasion. Does not sound good to me. I think Sacrifice an Eye again is not too bad, but it doesn't really give us any extra piety, so I don't love that option. I think it's got to be either Sacrifice Drink, which again I don't love, or we reject the sacrifices. Is it so bad that I want to reject it? Getting to 4 pips of piety is really quite good for us because we'll get access to Power Leap, which could really save us as a Formicid. It just means if we do sacrifice drink, we'll have to be really careful about. I'm just thinking though, we'll just have to be extremely careful about running from situations early and or buffing early. You can still always use draw out power. So as long as you hold your draw out power, it doesn't matter if you get confused, at least once. Okay, we're gonna do it. I don't like this. It makes me really nervous. It's not a sacrifice that I like, but I mean, I'm already butchering this character, and I mean literally butchering. We chopped off a hand, so I guess we can butcher it some more and sacrifice drink. Alright, we're actually doing it. Oh boy, okay. So we can no longer drink potions when threatened, and yeah, I feel threatened even though currently we're not threatened. So we have Power Leap now. It costs 5 magic points and exhaustion. So, and this will be the theme with Rue's powers. It's the same for when we finally get Apocalypse as well, is they all have exhaustion. So it's kind of like in one fight you can pick one of them to use. You can't use a bunch. But how Power Leap works is it's a controlled blink like this. This one doesn't drain us, it just exhausts us, so I don't mind using it to show you. So you jump like that, you got a little explosion around you that can hurt enemies. But it's more the blink bit. It can allow us to get away from really scary enemies that as a Formicid we otherwise wouldn't. Say when we go down into Lair, we end up adjacent to a Hydra. That would be an absolute nightmare normally, but with Power Leap now, we'd be able to jump away from it onto stairs and escape. D9. Ooh, metal walls are scary, as are stone walls. We can't dig those as a Formicid. We can get bonus damage off those walls with LRD, but I think the not being able to dig part is doesn't quite make up for that. There's our lair. D9. Earth Magic made it to 10. Do we keep going? We're taking transmutations to 8. The no shield has me so bummed. LRD is at 5% and its power is about halfway. I think I don't mind going more Earth Magic, or actually, no, I changed my mind. Let's go Dazzling Spray. Just so we still do have some sort of option for a monster that we can't really fight and can't really hex. Say Death Yaks is a good example of that. Okay, yeah, so we're going to learn that. And we're going to train not too much, but a bit of hexes, maybe to level 3. So we'll have 3 conjurations and 3 hexes, and then we'll see how this is going. I don't care about the spell power on it too much. It's just that otherwise we don't really have any option. 60% on the Hippogriff, that's fine. We can try to sneak up on it first. I shouldn't have done that. It's not worth. Hippogriff is screeching. And yeah, look how many it just resisted. 60%, it resisted 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So yeah, I went for the greed play on going for the stab. It's alright, we can get away from him. Well, I could have walked around and just power leapt to the stairs, but we can also pass wall up. Take a lot of damage, but that's okay. Did we go to greed play again? Yep. Well, that time we got it. Didn't wake up. What did we get? Hexes to 1 and we reached level 11. Okay, that's fine. None of these... Oh, I was going to say we can drop that book, but never mind. That's not how it works. Why are there so many hippogriffs on this floor? Why are they all immune to Petrify? New scroll. I'm going to go to the stair because we still haven't found noise yet. Man, I am absolutely calling the scrolls this game. Alright, so we'll hang out here. It's made a loud noise. We don't want to go exploring as a Formicid when potentially dangerous monsters are running to us. This really scares me. It's a stone room and we're sensing a bunch of monsters in there, and it looks like... Oh, it's a rune door. Okay, that's alright then. Yeah, okay. So we'll just ignore that for now. We don't know what might be in there. A ring of fire. Okay, yeah, we won't be going in there. Maybe we could come back once upon a time in the future when we're a lot stronger. But we're not fast. We can't teleport. So if there's anything dangerous in there that's faster than us, we're in a lot of trouble. And we're sensing a lot of things in there. 4 throwing nets, okay. That's another thing that lets us stab death yaks though. Interesting. I forgot about that, but they're valuable. You don't really want to use them. Let's go the 4 potion. 4 mutation. Huh. And there's a 5th one in a shop. That's a lot of mutation potions early. I'm kind of tempted to play mutation roulette, but I don't think it's worth. Goodbye haste. Actually, maybe I do want to. See, here's another Formicid thing. 2 of the worst mutations that can absolutely wreck a character don't apply to Formicids. And a couple of others are indirectly not as bad. So you really care about Berserkitis and you Teleportitis. They're the 2 worst teleportations, I'd say. As a Formicid, your stasis blocks both of them. Another really bad one I can think of is slower reading of scrolls. But again, you can't teleport or blink as a Formicid, so that's not as big a deal either. Oh man, considering that, why did I give up drink? What am I doing this game? My rude choices have been horrible. Oh well anyway, I've convinced myself there's another mutation potion we can buy at 96 gold. Let's go. Let's mutation roulette. You feel we got 2 extra AC. We got natural heat resistance, which is good, but we got frail minus 10% HP. I don't think that's worth it. I think we keep rolling. You have sharp fingernails, so it gives us an auxiliary scratch if we don't have gloves on, which we do. An extra AC plus 2 again, and clarity of mind. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's a bit of a bummer that we lost our fire resistance, particularly because we can only wear 1 ring at a time. Man, I still feel so stupid. But that's okay. We got clarity, so that's really good. We can't get confused now. So we can't get paralyzed, confused, or mesmerized. Or slowed. Not bad. And let's see. I don't want to go into lair just yet. I'm going to do at least D10, but we might even do D11 before we head into lair. Psyche. She has a dagger of chaos. You do not want her hitting you with that. She could banish you. Cannot paralyze this character, but yeah, could still banish. So we're going to see if we can roll a 66% Petrify chance. There it is. If we didn't already have a Dagger of Elec, I think I would strongly consider picking up that Dagger of Chaos, because it's a good way to brawl with enemies. Also a good way to die if you happen to berserk them, etc. But the whole paralyzing, confusing, banishing bit is good. Do we have... We have some bolts now. We have 23 bolts that we could be using with this +8 Arbalest of Elec. And in fact, let's see, this gives +7 int. Does this significantly increase our spell power? Petrify goes up to being 2, what do you call these, blocks? Pips? 2 points away from being full power. And without it, it is 3 away. So actually, when we are walking around trying to stab stuff, we want the dagger. But when we're trying to hex things, we actually want to pull the crossbow out, believe it or not, even if we're not shooting with it. We've got a Wand of Flame, really powerful against electric eels because of the steam. You have to sit in it. Alright, let's see if it really does make a difference. So it's 85% chance and 80. Yeah, that's quite significant, especially if that's a dangerous enemy. I should not just be willy-nilly firing those bolts. We have no crossbow skill, so how long was it taking? 1.9, almost 2 turns to shoot a bolt. Yeah. That's way too dangerous to just be shooting at monsters approaching us. That's my bad. Here's a lot of things that we don't know what they are yet. I don't think we can pass wall those. They're whites. Yeah. It's not really a good pass wall position there that I can see. We also can just elect dagger these guys. Yeah, the elect dagger is really strong. Oh, right, we got our conjurations to 3. Dazzling spray is at 9% to fail and not much power. Let's go a little bit more. We'll go hexes to 4. That's the wrong thing. It's odd why I did it again. I keep doing transmutations to 4, but transmutations is already at 8. How does that make sense? Please, clear it. Let's just make it 10s. I need to... It's freaking me out a bit here. Hexes will go to 4, and conjurations will go to 4. We'll turn both those on again. They'll be pretty fast. Conjurations is -1, I guess, but +2 on hexes is quick. And I don't know, I feel like this character is going to need to start training dodging fairly soon. Seeing that we can't use shields, and we kind of want to stay in light armor because both for our spellcasting but also for our stealth. A new glowing robe, let's see what that is. +1 fire resistance. It's giving us an extra AC, but it's removing our point of MR. How much do we care? The only real MR threat is if before we go into lair we find a Rolka. That seems unlikely. For science, what's a ringmail look like? So this would be 8 and 12. A ringmail would be 10 and 10. And our spells would be a lot harder to cast, but we could train some armor. And our stealth would be worse. This is probably better. It's the same total amount, 8 and 12 versus 10 and 10. That's the rough rule of thumb I do. Add your AC and evasion. But this also gives us RF, and our stealth and spellcasting is better. Okay. Come here. Maybe we shoot some bolts. Some 2-turn bolts. Whites again. Oh, that's fine. We can kill these guys fairly comfortably with Stone Arrow and or Elect Dagger. Let's go a potion. We no longer need to carry around a plain short sword. It doesn't really do anything. We can try to stab the Wraith. Hey, we got it. Stab power is getting better. 4 enchant armor. I feel so weird about what we're gonna do with our weapons now, because we can go a 2-handed weapon. That feels so wrong. On a stealthy, magey sort of hybrid character, using a 2-handed weapon instead of using a shield just does not feel right. Another potion. It's resistance. Okay, good. And degen. We don't want that. I've kind of, mostly because I'm lazy, but I've kind of stopped using Sandblast. Maybe we should just forget it. Yeah. let's forget it. And then we can stop carrying around these stones. I don't know. This is probably, again, not optimal because I'm sure there could potentially be situations where, for instance, an enemy is almost dead and we have 1 mana left. Whereas if we had Stone Blast or Sand Blast, we could still cast a spell. But I'm just doing it. This has not been the game for amazing gameplay yet, so why start at this stage, right? So what did I want to do now? Shift our macros around a bit. I'm going to make a macro for Dazzling Spray. Okay. Oh, I should have password in. I'm glad Josephine did not see us. Okay, race. 31% chance to... Okay, they're unaffected, so you cannot petrify a wraith. What have we got? We've got... Fight it with Stone Arrow. Oh wait, they can't slow us! Okay, never mind, I'm not afraid at all. I'll take him up. Yeah, I was going to say, they could slow us and then we'd be in all sorts of trouble. But they can't slow us, so that's fine. We can just Elect Dagger fight it. And if we start dying, like see here, we just got the minus potion effect. So we feel threatened because our HP is dropping, I guess. What did I do there? Did I even... Okay, the stone arrow just missed. Alright, well, we got him. Rue's offering us new sacrifices. We've got, okay, Purity. So we could drop 2 decks, which is a trivial sacrifice. We could sacrifice Artifice, which would be an incredible sacrifice. Prevents you from having any magical items and from having any ranks in evocations. And we can do Resistance, which makes you vulnerable to both heat and cold, which is really scary at the best of times, but super scary considering that we have 1 less ring slot than we should have. So it's definitely not that one. Sacrificing 2 decks is what I would do to effectively skip a sacrifice if I didn't like any of the other 2, but I didn't technically want to skip one. As in, I wouldn't want to make Rue wait longer again. Or also right near the end. So think about Artifice. Oh, I didn't want to do it yet. What am I doing? Look at Artifice. It's an incredible sacrifice that gives us a bunch of piety. Say you did sacrifices up to 5 pips. It wouldn't make sense for you to do another incredible sacrifice just to get that last star. You'd want to just try to stack up smaller ones. So in that case, it might make more sense to do things like this dex -2. Artifice? I don't really mind very much. So I don't like training evocations as it is. I always carry random evocables around, but if you've seen any of my playthroughs before, you'll know that I'm terrible at remembering to ever use them, so that's not a huge loss. The Wonder Clouds hurts a bit, but not a huge amount without evocations training. The most painful item that you lose when you sacrifice Artifice is a Wand of Digging. But as a Formicid, we can innately dig, so normally I'm pretty keen to sacrifice Artifice in my regames, but I feel like as a Formicid, I'm doubly keen because we can dig anyway. So yeah, let's do that. That'll take us up to full piety, and we won't have to sacrifice anything more. So this one doesn't bother me too much, but we've basically done it in 3 sacrifices, 3 pretty big ones, 2 of which, one I definitely didn't want to do and definitely was not the correct decision for this character, which was the giving up a hand, losing shields. The potion is definitely significant. Maybe it's the right choice. I don't regret that one. And this one I don't mind either. But yeah, that's one way you can do Rue. Just do a few really big, massive sacrifices and then you're done. rather than a whole stack of other ones. I don't know that I've ever done it in quite 3 before, but there it is. Alright, so we just got access to Apocalypse. Note that this costs 8 mana points. That's a lot of mana. So if, especially as a spellcaster, if there's any chance that you're going to want to Apocalypse, you have to keep in mind that you need at least 8 mana to do it. And what this does is reveals Rue's truth to your enemies, dealing severe damage to all enemies in your line of sight, and then anything that doesn't die will be left paralyzed, slowed, or magic drained. And you see at the end there, the damage dealt increases with your piety and experience level. That's an extremely powerful ability for all of the game. It drains you quite heavily. Does it actually tell you? It just says it temporarily drains your skills. But this drains you fairly heavily, a lot more than Draw Out Power does. This Draw Out Power skill is pretty small. Apocalypse is pretty big. I mean, if you use Apocalypse to kill a whole big pack of really scary enemies, it's possible to completely work it off immediately. But the thing to note is, because of the drain, you can't just spam it in every kind of threatening fight. You need to have a really bad situation before you should be doing that. Or at least a situation that might very quickly become very bad before you do that. Cool. Hexes to 4. Okay. It didn't seem to change much. I don't know. I don't want to train a whole heap of hexes just for Dazzling Spray. It's kind of like a backup spell. We don't really need it. And Josephine's still running around. We need to X that out. It's not in a hallway, so we're probably not going to auto-explore into it, but still. And here's a Hornet. Okay, that's really scary. Well, we can't be paralyzed by it, so that's nice. But we have our poison, but still, they do gruesome amounts of damage. So we're gonna go for our Passwall strat here. Oh, I misjudged it. I meant to land on this tile. Okay, well, it didn't wake up, so not punished. That's pretty bad. We're picking up Wands of Clouds, even though we no longer have access to them. One of the real benefits of giving up evocations is you get extra inventory slots, so you should keep that in mind as well. And yeah, the game is smart. It's going to stop picking up wands for us. Good. Okay, on to D11. We're going to at least try it. If there's anything super scary in here, we can always Apocalypse and then run back to Lair. Oh no, whatever it was is alive. It's alive! Alive! Okay, I went for the greed play. I backed off because I didn't want to fight the Wyvern at the same time. Also, why are you so strong, Wyvern? Just get petrified. Thank you. Stealth to 9. Do we keep going? I think we keep going. Or do we turn dodging on? I don't know, I want to train too many things. Okay, I think once we get conjurations to 4, it's going to turn off. We'll turn on dodging. We'll keep stealth on. This looks like we might have a pass wall. Kind of. Should we actually channel the Kool-Aid Man? Oh yeah! Oh, this bee was awake? It's not fair. Quick, pass wall back in. Too scary. Alright, that was pretty good. I don't know why am I bothering to even petrify a scorpion? We can very easily just kill it. And I keep forgetting my macros. Hey, look at this pass wall. Man, I love that spell. have Dazzling Spray on the macro that previously was Stone Arrow, so I keep now accidentally mixing them up. There's Conjurations to 4, okay. There's a Battle Axe, we can wield that with our 2 hands. Alright, let's turn dodging on. Actually, we never killed Josephine, we should go back and get her. Shift X Control F, I forgot about that. She's here somewhere. She represents pretty good experience. And I think if we have the Arbalest out for the spell boost, we should be able to petrify her. No problem. Where do these bees come from? It's odd that we never ran into those when we cleared the level before. There's a lot of bees too. Come here, bees. Oh yeah, I forgot the secret tech. So while this one's petrified, we then LRD the ones behind it. In fact, we could LRD them all. I don't know why. We didn't get all 3. The Wraith. 31% with the dagger. 38% with the crossbow. Oh wait, I'm forgetting we can't petrify them. What am I doing? It will help us with our Stone Arrow damage though. Okay, good. There we go. And I like the idea, just in case this Josephine fight goes bad, of digging a path in like this, so we can Passwall out of danger. Let's see. Well, she can't hit us there, and we can't hit her directly there behind the plants. So we got one cheeky LRD off. Can you just not petrify her? That doesn't seem right. Is it just because the plants are blocking us? Okay, it is. So 40% chance and we got it. Alright, good. So now we'll stab her. Pretty good. Petrification stabbing, who knew? Let's check this robe. It's a +2 robe. I'd rather have the RF than the extra 1 AC, I think. Is that true? We can put on a Ring of Fire to get our rep if we really need it. Yeah, okay. Convince myself. I would rather have the +1 AC, I think. Shift X Control U unforgets the floor. And then, alright, we're back. We'll just go the Elect Dagger to get the Hungry Ghost while we lose all our food. Fortunately, we had some chunks, so we only lost 1 permafood. Not that I'm worried about that. Shouldn't really worry about permafood. It's not a thing. Just trust me. You're not gonna starve. It's not a thing. Yaks. I shouldn't be doing that. We can get some good LRD value. No, we can't because we can't see that spot. There we go. Bit of AoE. Let's go to a different stair though. I don't really want to fight entire yak packs at once. If we can help it. Oh, what we can do, bring them into our kill hole. Let's dig 1 tile up as well, so we've got the 1 tile pass wall out if need be. And let's do our petrify trick here. So we petrify the lead one, and then we'll start using LRD on the yaks that are behind. Yeah, this is pretty legit. I'm thinking, now that we sacrificed our shield, and so we care more about our armor, and might potentially want heavier armor. Maybe we want strength. Is that true? We've got 13 strength already, which is already enough for Fire Dragon scales. How heavy is a... What's that thing called? A Shadow Dragon scales. 15. So if we were ultimately going to end up in one of those guys, we'd need a bit more strength. But we also... I always forget the command to look up what Formicids get on their level ups. I don't think that's right. No, I don't remember. I want to say that Formicids get strength on level ups and not int. It's probably random between strength and dex. Or maybe it might be all three, I actually don't know. Okay. Is it worth getting more strength just for Shadow Dragon scales? Maybe not. I think int's probably correct still. It would be nice one day if we could cast Shatter. Some of those spells. And this yak. Why does it say... The display here says 2 yaks. I can only see one. I think it's lying. Maybe that's a bug. Okay. We could make a 70% chance to petrify this, and then if we fail it, we can draw out power, and then passwall back through this wall. I think that's what we'll do. We failed it. Do we need a passwall? No. We'll start off with the elect dagger. Okay, I changed my mind. We're dying. Alright, so we're going to draw out power. Now we've got mana. Oh, okay. Well, now we've got mana, we can passwall again, but our aura actually then just paralyzed the yak, so actually we don't need to worry. We drew out power. See how much mana it gave us back? Something like 13. That's pretty strong. Now we can just stab it. That's kind of dumb. I mean, thank you, Rue. Go again. And again. Okay, this time we still got a whole pack and we don't really have much mana. So this time we're not going to wait, we're just going to passwall out early. Which is probably what I should be doing, considering we're a Formicid who can't drink potions. And we don't have a shield. Get some LRD value. Let's not kill ourselves. Good. Mesa protection. That's not a huge deal. Cyclops. 50% chance to petrify. 56%. Nice. Okay, got him. They're slow, so as long as they're at the edge of your line of sight, you can eat a rock or two, as long as, because then you can just walk away from it, and it's slow, so it can't keep up. What just happened? Oh, okay, it was just an Orc Priest Force Maw. I got frightened by the Force Maw. These guys we can fight. If we just dig a bit of a kill hole. Never mind, we got outsmarted. The orcs are too smart. Also, that one orc priest is going ham. Good. I don't know, I'm still doing it. Why am I bothering? I don't know, I just got in the habit. I feel like we're playing a hexer where we just hex all the enemies and then stab them. But for an orc priest at this stage in the game, we just hit it with our venom dagger, let alone using our earth spells. So it's a bit of a waste. Berserk Rage is completely useless. Not stab you. Dodging to 4, it's good. Can stab you. That might have been a good situation to dig a pass wall. I got lazy. Yeah, it would have been. And maybe that one. But again, it's a fairly trivial enemy for us at this stage. So random phantom. Okay, and that's D11 done. Sometimes I like to check out D12 on a character, and if it's dangerous then I run to Lair. But I don't know. It's scary on a Formicid. I mean, sure, we have Apocalypse, we've got Power Leap. God forbid we've got Shaft. But yeah, I think that's too scary. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to Lair now. Or rather, we're going to go to Lair at the start of the next episode. Still too afraid to do whatever this is. Let's just see what's in there. Yeah, some amnesia, some random food, a bit of gold. Alright, so this is what we'll do next time. Come back if you'd like to see that. See our Lair adventures on a shieldless Formicid. See you later.